Hey everyone, I just want to let you know that this entire video was recorded and edited before the news of Halo Infinite's delay came out. So if I say anything that's sort of out of place or, it sounds like I don't know about Halo Infinite's delay, that's why. Just know that I'm super proud of this video and I left it unedited and untouched after that point. So I hope you guys enjoy. So without further delay, I'm just going to play the video now. Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm very excited to be talking about something I know a lot of us have on our minds, and that is the Halo Infinite multiplayer. I feel like as soon as July's gameplay demo was done, while all of us surely wanted to see more of the campaign, I would argue most of us immediately wanted to see some Halo Infinite multiplayer the most. We have heard a few things, such as Halo Infinite's multiplayer being available in some capacity for free, and that is absolutely mind-blowing. And with that price tag, we are about to have more individuals involved in our community than ever before, which is just so crazy to fathom. But I won't go too much into detail on that right now, because today I want to talk about 7 things I feel Halo Infinite absolutely needs in its multiplayer. Things that, if free to play or not, should be absolutely present in the game if Halo Infinite is going to be the best game it could be. Now, these by no means are in any specific order, as I feel like they were all needed equally as bad or are equally desired by the community. But real quick, before I start the video, if you enjoy what I do here on the channel, be sure to leave a like, as it does help out the channel's growth a ton, and the wait for Halo Infinite is so much easier when we are all together. So without further delay, let's start with number 1, Warzone Firefight. Warzone was one of my favorite additions to Halo that came with Halo 5. Sure, there were some things that weren't well sat with the community, such as loot box like rec packs, but overall, the mode is just a ton of fun. Picking up your wrecks and having a pure sandbox Warzone experience is just so much fun. Now, Warzone, as you know, has several varieties within the overall game type. You have traditional Warzone, Warzone Assault, or my personal favorites, Warzone Firefight. Warzone Firefight is just an amazing time. For those who aren't familiar with the mode, it takes the sandbox-like rec system from Warzone and combines it with the firefight modes you've seen in previous Halo games. The result is this epic battle between enemy AI, all while trying to outscore your friends and other Spartans you are playing with and fighting alongside. I absolutely love getting in a Ghost and just running over heaps of grunts, or maybe even getting in a Scorpion to really do some damage on enemy bosses. Warzone Firefight is the only place in Halo where you and a friend can both roll up in your own tanks and take down a grunt and a mech. Come on, how could you not love that? Also, I can see with Halo Infinite bringing in the Banished, we could go up against some really crazy new enemies and vehicle types. We could even have some access to all of the new weapons and vehicles that come with Infinite. Honestly, the prospect of it all just has me smiling from ear to ear. I'm so excited and I really hope this makes a return. If they don't bring back Warzone and Warzone Firefight, I will be very sad, as I just absolutely adore this mode.
You're dead, and I will live forever!
Next thing I want to bring up is playable elites. I don't want to spend too much time on this one, as I did just make an entire video about Arbiter being in Halo Infinite, where I talk at length about playable elites returning to the series. Needless to say, I think playable elites really do have a shot at returning to Halo Infinite, and the community wants to see it so bad as well. With the elites being shrunken down and tweaked to match the design closer to the Bungie Halo elites, their hitboxes no doubt would also line up better to match the Spartans' hitboxes again, so I think that's a huge indicator in and of itself. So the possibility is there, not just for the desire of it all, but it really seems technologically possible as well. I really hope 343 brings playable elites back into the mix with Infinite. It just needs to be done already. I want my dinosaurs back!
Were it so easy.
Speaking of bringing things back from the previous Halo games, let's talk about maps. Don't lie, you know where every weapon spawn is on Last Resort. You know where the teleport leads on Blood Gulch, and there's a good reason for that. We spent so much time on these iconic maps because they were so enjoyable. Sure, Blood Gulch was a bit empty by today's standards, but then down the line, we got Valhalla, which took that same sort of structure of the map and populated it with more variations to the landscape that exponentially increased the variations on the gameplay. I've said it before in other videos, and I'll say it here again. If 343 wants to really make a Halo game that embraces the old and new, we need to have some serious callbacks and representation from the best parts of all of the Halo games. By no means am I saying that every single map or even a large portion of maps from older Halo games have to return, but a few are definitely needed. I need those custom games on Sandtrap, you know? Number 4 on this list also has a lot to do with customs, more specifically AI in Forge mode. Now, we have been promised that Halo Infinite's Forge mode is going to be more robust than we've ever seen before, and we've already started to see a few of these new features pop up in the Master Chief Collection, such as the recently announced undo and redo buttons coming to Forge. Such a change may seem small and insignificant, but adding something like this allows for so much more creative freedom in the Forge modes we already have, let alone the Forge mode coming to Halo Infinite. But regarding my main point, AI in Forge mode is something that would be outstanding in Halo Infinite. Imagine the possibilities of being able to control enemy types, spawns, difficulty levels, and weapons. You would essentially have the creative freedom to make your very own missions, perhaps with an ongoing story tailored just for you and your friends, creating a journey for your specific Spartans or your elites for that matter. All you have to do is introduce your players to each level with a piece of lore for your story, and boom, you have your very own Halo campaign. I'm thinking full-blown Halo RPG. If you thought Mario Maker is popular, wait for Halo Infinite's Forge mode with AI. Imagine with me, if you will, going onto a forum and finding a new fan-made story for you and your friends to try. Perhaps one where you are a team of elites sent to dispatch the Grunt Rebellion against the Covenant, fighting off waves and waves of grunts wielding plasma pistols, fuel rod cannons, and even those cute mech boys. Or maybe your friends are on the opposing side too. You can have both PvP and PvE involved. Sorry for the pun, but the possibilities here really are infinite. I'm not entirely sure what's technologically possible for Forge and Halo Infinite. I don't know the roof here. I don't know how far they could go. But the team at 343 has promised this robust Forge mode, and I'm inclined to believe that AI is in fact the next evolution for Forge. I mean, if Forge is so great, we obviously need a Forge too. The 5th item on this list is player customization. Customization of your character in Halo multiplayer is something that helps personalize your experience when you play Halo. It could be something as simple as Halo 2 customization with colors and emblems, all the way to having Halo Reach sort of options where seemingly every bit of your Spartan's appearance is up to your discretion. I thought Halo 5 had a nice middle ground between those two, where there were lots of options available, but ended up blocking down to your helmet and your armor as two separate complete pieces. I personally would want to have something that pushes the envelope and has the choices of Halo Reach, but with the variety of Halo 5. I think it would be a really neat feature to make sure that your Spartan, or elite, is truly yours, and no two players will ever be the same in an online match. I know with the promise of free-to-play multiplayer, Halo Infinite is sure to have some armors or skins that are paid only, which is understandably concerning to some, but I do believe there is a balance. I think they can strike that balance between the fun of unlocking skins through achievements and the paid skins from a digital shop. And that goes for weapon cosmetics as well. I love the options found in Halo 5 for your weapon cosmetics, so having a return of my favorite set, the Master Control set, would be an absolute delight. That Tron aesthetic though. Okay, so these last two things on my list are not things necessarily pertaining to the gameplay, but more so pertaining to what 343 does with Halo Infinite. What I mean by that is that these things have to do with what 343 will do to keep the community engaged outside of the gameplay. First of these two being a massive esports scene. A big pull to the hype and longevity of an online community for a game is the events that the players can watch and feel a part of. So regular tournaments and large-scale player events are definitely needed, whether it be regular tournament support, Twitch drops, or something new. I know when I watch a pro player or a streamer I like play an amazing game of Halo, that makes me immediately want to jump back in and improve my skills as well. That feeling of competition makes players more engaged with your game and makes them spend more time with it overall. I know with the ongoing struggles of a pandemic, public events held in massive arenas are nigh impossible at the moment, but in the future, people are going to be so ready to watch these events and get some serious hype going. Which leads me to the very last item on this list, which is community events. Right now, if you hop into Halo on MCC or Halo 5, you'll see front and center the featured playlist for the week. This is what I mean by community events, but Halo Infinite needs more. We've also seen plenty of bonus XP weekends, but Halo Infinite needs more. On top of community playlists and double XP weekends, I would love to see 343 embrace something that fans can physically go do and be a part of. Outpost Discovery is a perfect example of this. A small, mini convention where fans can go interact with the world of Halo, take pictures, and overall geek out together. Imagine if they brought this back in the future, and on your way out for the day, an employee hands you a voucher for a free trial of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. What are you gonna do with it? You're obviously a Halo fan, so you probably already have Game Pass. So what do you do then? You give it to a friend, of course, and that friend ideally jumps on their PC or phone if they don't already have an Xbox, uses the game streaming provided with the membership, and then both of you run through the campaign of Halo Infinite and bam, +1 Halo player for the community. What I'm getting at with all this is that the community events generate more players. More players, yes, means more money for 343 and Xbox, but ultimately means a larger audience for the game you and I both love. And with a larger audience comes more experiences and more longevity to the game with updates and DLC. And with Halo Infinite's multiplayer being free to play, the game arriving day and date on PC and smartphones through game streaming, the exposure for this game is absolutely insane. This is destined to be the biggest community in Halo's history. And I think that's something truly we are all excited to be a part of. 343 has said that Halo Infinite is the flagship for the next 10 years of Halo. And honestly, that's kind of nerve-wracking. We have heard that promise before, and it always ends up being some sort of empty promise from other studios. I mean, just look how well Anthem's 10-year plan is going. So if 343 is going to truly make that large of a vision come to fruition, they absolutely need a healthy and dedicated community to keep welcoming in those players that maybe have never played a Halo game before.
Master Chief, defend this station.
Yes, sir. I need a weapon.
Right this way.
Well guys, that's it for my list today. The wait for Halo Infinite is getting tougher by the day, and I am not alone in that, I know. I'm curious to know what you think of my list. Is there anything I missed? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. I thought about offering some ideas for honorable mentions, such as pickups in multiplayer or how 343 should roll out DLC, for example. And while I think those ideas are certainly important, I do think that personally these 7 items in my list here are the 7 things I am most passionate about and want to see the most. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, as it does help promote this video to other Halo fans and tremendously helps the channel grow. But thank you guys so much for watching, I really appreciate you every time you're here. And until next time, I'll see you online. VanillaSoup, out.